Sega.
My enemies are many. My equals are none. In the shade of olive trees, they said Italy could never be conquered. My enemies are many. My equals are none. In the shade of olive trees, they said Italy could never be conquered.
Sega.
My...
Some men live and die in the shade of their olive trees. a lifetime of peace and simplicity. This book is the record of a man who wanted more, a man who wanted everything. His name was Napoleon Bonaparte, soldier, general, emperor. Yet, all things have a beginning. There was a time when Napoleon was just a boy. A boy from Corsica. Ambition, instilled in the mind of a child, it becomes a powerful force. From an early age, Napoleon was taught that ambition can make a man great. His father had done everything in his power to secure a place for his young son in a school on the mainland, far from Corsica and the confines of island life. Welcome to Corsica. You're about to learn how to build an empire through conquest and diplomacy, establish vast and profitable trade routes, research new and exciting technologies, and advance Napoleon's military power on both land and sea. Fame and glory await. Let's start by getting comfortable with the camera controls. To move the camera around the map, simply press and hold the middle mouse button while moving the mouse in any direction. You can also zoom in and out of the campaign map by rolling the middle mouse button back and forth. Let's select your general, Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon has a set number of movement points that can be used in each turn of the game. The distance he can move is shown by the large colored area around him on the map. Each time Napoleon moves, this area becomes smaller until his movement points for the turn are exhausted. Also, within the character's movement area is a slightly smaller area in a different color. This is the zone of control. An enemy army or navy that enters the zone during the turn can be attacked. Try moving Napoleon to the port of Bastia on the northeast coast of Corsica. Select Napoleon and then right-click on the map on the intended destination with your mouse.
En attente de vos ordres!
Towns, ports and cities form the backbone of your nation. Double left-click on one of them to open its information panel. This will show exactly what it does.
Troupes, en avant! D'autres ordres? Immédiatement! D'autres ordres? En avant! Marchez! À vos ordres! En avant! Marchez! Je ne peux faire cela, général. Votre humble serviteur. Préparez-vous! Marchez!
The panel contains information about your towns and ports, including their effects and background detail. Clicking on the tick icon will close this panel. Once you have finished everything you want to do during this turn, select the End Turn button at the bottom of the screen. This panel contains information about your city, including its public order levels, wealth, and current population number. Clicking on the tick icon will close this panel.
Préparez-vous, marchez!
As Napoleon prepared to leave his island home, he must have been nervous. He was a boy leaving his family behind for a life in a strange new place. If only he had known that he was starting out on a path that would change the face of Europe forever. A ship has arrived to take Napoleon to the French mainland. Select Napoleon and then right-click on the ship to board it. Notice that the ship automatically moves towards Napoleon, and if he has enough movement points left in this turn, he will board the ship.
Embarquez!
Having boarded the ship, you now need to select a destination. Select the ship and right-click near the southern coast of France to allow Napoleon to reach the French mainland. As your course has now been set, you need to end turn before your ship can move in the next turn. Having set your ship's course in the previous turn, select the End Turn button so that it automatically carries out your order. Alternatively, if you wish to change your orders, simply select your ship and then right-click on a new area of sea to set a new destination.
Voile sortie!
Do not forget to click the End Turn button once you have finished everything you need to do this turn. With his father, Napoleon traveled to mainland France to begin his schooling. From the moment he saw his new home, Napoleon fell in love. The beautiful countryside and cities must have been impressive to a boy from a small island. Perhaps he dared to dream that one day he would own all that beauty. With the camera now on Switzerland, quickly move back to Napoleon using the radar map at the bottom left of the screen. Simply left-click on the area of the map within the radar panel that you wish to view. The camera will then move there. Try using this method to change the view to Napoleon. Then select him and make your way to the Swiss border.
Prêt à recevoir vos ordres? Hommes, en avant!
Message boxes will appear during most turns on the left-hand side of the screen. As this is an important message, it will automatically open for you. Otherwise, you can left-click on the message icon to view a message or right-click to delete it. You are about to enter another faction's territory. To see what your diplomatic relations are, click on the Diplomacy button at the bottom of the screen. The Diplomacy panel allows you to seek alliances, form trade agreements, and use other nations' land for military access. Each nation is listed in either the Major or Minor Nation tabs. You can interact with a nation by clicking on its name and then left-clicking on the Open Negotiations button at the bottom of the panel. The British are currently at war with France and do not look like they wish to consider diplomacy. Instead, it would be wise to seek a trade agreement with a friendlier nation. The Sardinians do not look like they wish to negotiate. Instead, try seeking a trade agreement with another nation, such as the Swiss Confederation. Switzerland is currently allied with France, and you have military access to their land. As it is a rich and wealthy nation, you should seek a trade agreement to increase France's wealth. Select the Request Trade Agreement option from the left-hand side of the screen. Submit your offer by left-clicking on the Send Proposal button at the bottom of the panel. With a trade agreement, France receives additional wealth each term for as long as the agreement is in effect. Your wealth can be viewed at the bottom of the screen.
Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. 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 Testing, 1, 2, 3. Microphone. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. There it goes. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2.
General, this is all preset. I haven't touched any of this. The next tab we have is stream. You get to pick what service you're streaming with. Obviously, I stream with Twitch, but other people use YouTube, Mixer, Facebook.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 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 Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. 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 Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. 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 Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Hello, hello. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3.
Sega. My enemies are many, my equals are none. In the shade of olive trees, they said Italy could never be conquered. In the land of pharaohs and kings, they said Egypt could never be humbled. In the realm of forest and snow, they said Russia could never be tamed. Now they say nothing. They fear me, like a force of nature, a dealer in thunder and death. I say, I am Napoleon. I am Emperor.
Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Some men live and die in the shade of their olive trees, a lifetime of peace and simplicity. This book is the record of a man who wanted more, a man who wanted everything.
Everything's working great, I think.
Napoleon Bonaparte, soldier, general, emperor. Yet, all things have a beginning. There was a time when Napoleon was just a boy. A boy from Corsica.
Trying this new live stream.
Ambition, instilled in the mind of a child, it becomes a powerful force. From an early age, Napoleon was told that ambition can make a man great. His father had done everything in his power to secure a place for his young son in a school on the mainland, far from Corsica and the confines of island life.
The first time playing Napoleon.
Welcome to Corsica. You're about to learn how to build an empire through conquest and diplomacy, establish vast, profitable trade routes, research new and exciting technologies, and advance Napoleon's military power on both land and sea. Fame and glory await. Let's start by getting comfortable with the camera controls. To move the camera around the map, simply press and hold the middle mouse button while moving the mouse in any direction. You can also zoom in and out of the campaign map by rolling the middle mouse button back and forth. Let's select your general, Napoleon Bonaparte. Move your mouse cursor over him and then left-click to select him. Please select Napoleon by moving your mouse cursor. Napoleon has a set number of movement points that can be used in each turn of the game. The distance he can move is shown by the large colored area around him on the map. Each time Napoleon moves, this area becomes smaller until his movement points for the turn are exhausted. Also, within the character's movement area is a slightly smaller area in a different color. This is the zone of control. An enemy army or navy that enters the zone during the turn can be attacked. Try moving Napoleon to the port of Bastia on the northeast coast.
Avant! Marchez!
Select Napoleon and then right-click on the map on the intended destination with your mouse.
À gauche! Marchez!
Towns, ports and cities form the backbone of your nation. Double left-click on one of the panels contains information about your towns and ports, including their effects and background detail. Clicking on the tick icon will close this panel. Once you have finished everything you want to do during this turn, select the End Turn button at the bottom of the screen.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
As Napoleon prepared to leave his island home, he must have been nervous. He was a boy leaving his family behind for a life in a strange new place. If only he had known that he was starting out on a path that would change the face of Europe forever. A ship has arrived to take Napoleon to the French mainland. Select Napoleon and then right-click on the ship to board it. Notice that the ship automatically moves towards Napoleon, and if he has enough movement points left in this turn, he will board the ship.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Teasers from earlier episodes were just that. They were teasers. The development of Daenerys Targaryen never suggested that she would burn an entire city to the ground after her enemies had surrendered. And all the excuses the writers have cooked up to justify the choice to subvert the audience can only be considered laughable. But anyway, let's begin.
There's something you need to know.
Someone has betrayed me.
Varys.
He knows the truth about John.
He does.
Danny's an incredibly strong person. Danny's an incredibly strong person. Danny's an incredibly strong person. Close friendships and close advisors for her entire run of the show. You look at those people who have been closest to her for such a long time, and almost all of them have either turned on her or died, and she's very much alone. And that's a dangerous thing for someone who's got so much power, to feel that isolated. So at the very time when she needs guidance and those kind of close friendships and advice the most, everyone's gone.
Right, so Danny needs an advisor to tell her not to kill hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children. I thought she was supposed to be one of the strongest characters in this series. And you tell me she needs an advisor to say, Danny, don't burn babies alive. I understand that she's grieving, but you make it out that Missandei is the straw that broke the camel's back. But what the fuck does Missandei's death have to do with burning the city alive after they've already surrendered? Alright, Missandei's final words to Daenerys were Dracarys. So I'm supposed to feel sad that Missandei's final words to Daenerys were burn them all? And if Danny listens to Missandei instead of Tyrion's remarks of, hey, use some common sense, you dumb bimbo, then that makes me respect Danny even less than I already do. Seriously, how weak can a person be? Also, all those advisors, with the exception of Missandei, who isn't considered an advisor because she's always been dumb as shit, all those advisors died so that she could save the world. You think Danny would try to honor them by living up to the standard they held her, but nah, let's just burn the city, I guess. Also, if she's alone and her mentality is I'm alone so everyone dies, then isn't that going to make her more alone if she doesn't want to be alone? Alone. Geez, this is the first response of the video to the sewer of Deadpool's mouth shut, and already so much retardation to unpack.
I think that Varys knew that it was unlikely that he would survive the attempt to overthrow Dany in favor of Jon.
Yeah, that's because you wrote Varys to be retarded. Also, everyone who says Varys committed treason by trying to poison Daenerys with the young girl, even if that's true, you're wrong. Let me explain why. Let me lay this out. Tyrion ratted Varys out on the grounds that Varys knew the secret, not that he tried to poison her. Also, if he was caught trying to poison Daenerys, wouldn't Daenerys have executed or at least shown the girl to Varys at his execution? So regardless if Varys did try to poison Daenerys or not, he wasn't executed on those grounds. The writers just wanted to kill him off ASAP, since Dumb and Fucking Dumber insisted on only 6 episodes for the final season, despite HBO offering them unlimited resources apparently. So yeah, Dumber the Dweeb here wrote Varys to send letters regarding Jon while under Daenerys' guard, and then wrote for Varys to compromise his stance on Daenerys out in the open for everyone to see, which is why Tyrion ratted him out.
He also knew that ethically, in his mind, had no choice but to try to do that anyway.
Yes, Varys has the purest intentions of anyone. Tyrion knows this, not to mention Varys saved Tyrion's life for the greater good. So Tyrion ratting him out makes absolutely no sense.
It was me.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
I think that Tyrion is saying goodbye to his best friend in the world outside of his brother.
Really? You call that a goodbye? 3 simple words? 3 words that can be summed up as the easiest fucking dialogue to write? Gold star, you egg-headed fuck. How about a plea of mercy on Varys' behalf? How about Jon intervenes? How about some reasoning between Tyrion and Varys? Instead we get 3 words and hand-holding. Does anyone need more proof that they were just trying to tick this box as fast as possible?
Dracarys.
amount of guilt that he feels over being the cause for his best friend's imminent death, it's hard to really get your head around.
Also, you just said Tyrion is saying goodbye to his best friend in the world besides his brother. Again, so why would Tyrion
Testing.
rat out Varys
1, 2,
exactly?
3, testing.
And also,
1,
he
2,
sets
3.
Jaime free very, very soon. So why the fuck didn't he give Varys the chance to get away or do something smart, since he has the biggest fucking brain in the world? I guess it's hard to write a character that's the polar fucking opposite of you and your
Testing.
idiot
1,
partner.
2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
So let's burn a city to the ground to inspire love and fix the problem I
Testing.
have.
1, 2,
And hold
3.
up,
Testing.
Daenerys saved
1,
the
2,
Seven
3.
Kingdoms by
Testing.
fighting White Walkers. The entire North has seen this. So why would people fear her? Shouldn't they love her by now? If not King's Landing, then shouldn't all the other houses who assisted love her?
You will always be my queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, behold half of Jon's dialogue for this entire episode.
Jon Snow is someone that she's fallen in love with, and as far as she's concerned, by this point, Jon has betrayed her by telling people about his true identity, and also the fact that he's unable to return her affections at this point.
Alright then.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
So Jon
Testing.
refuses her incest, and because she gets so pissy about it, she's going to kill
Testing.
thousands
1,
of
2,
babies.
3. Testing.
Thousands of babies, you guys.
Testing.
Babies.
1, 2, 3.
Little
Testing. 1,
freaking
2, 3.
babies. All because her nephew denied her some dick. Also, I just realized, Dany's a fucking hypocrite. You do realize that she did the exact same thing to Ser Jorah for 8 fucking seasons, right? Did I mention Ser Jorah dies for her thinking that he had just died for the savior of King's Landing? Also, maybe I could give a shit about Jon and Dany if you gave Season 7 10 episodes to flush out their fucking relationship, you lazy, mopey prick.
I think that when she says let it be fear, she's resigning herself to the fact that she may have to get things done in a way that isn't pleasant, and she may have to get things done in a way that is horrible to lots of people.
Mercy is our strength. Our mercy towards future generations. He will never again be held hostage by a tyrant.
She goes to kill the people who are currently being held hostage by a tyrant, after they surrendered, and there was no reason to. Must I say any more?
She chose violence. A Targaryen choosing violence is a pretty terrifying thing.
You chose to skip writing class?
Even when you look back to Season 1, when Khal Drogo gives the Golden Crown to Viserys and her reaction on watching her brother's head melted off.
He is no dragon.
And he's a terrible brother, so I don't think anyone out there was crying when Viserys died, but there is something kind of chilling about the way that Dany has responded to the death of her enemies.
Yeah, her enemies, you dumb shit. Say it with me, slowly. Her enemies. Not innocent women and children who have just surrendered.
Testing.
You
1, 2, 3.
Look, I'm
Testing.
sorry,
1, 2,
I know
3.
you hate it when I swear, but you saw the episode. Now you're watching this piece of shit documentary with me. Does anything non-derogatory suit the stupidity of these two embarrassments for human beings?
And if circumstances had been different, I don't think this side of Dany ever would have come out. If Cersei hadn't betrayed her, if Cersei hadn't executed Missandei, if Jon hadn't told her the truth, like if all these things had happened in a different way, then I don't think we'd be seeing this side of Daenerys Targaryen.
And I don't think she decided ahead of time that she was going to do what she did. And then she sees the Red Keep, which is to her the home that her family built when they first came over to this country 300 years ago. It's in that moment on the walls of King's Landing when she's looking at that symbol of everything that was taken from her, when she makes the decision to make this personal.
So the Red Keep looked at her funny, and that's what made Daenerys snap?
Gatorade. H2O. Gatorade. H2O.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Water sucks.
No, Jack,
it really, really
you don't mean
sucks.
it.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. No, total sense. Genius. Absolutely genius. Bravo.
Wanted her to be just death from above, as seen from the perspective of the people who are on the business end of that dragon. In most large stories like this, it seems like there's a tendency to focus on the heroic figures and not pay much attention to the people who may be suffering from the repercussions of the decisions made by those heroic people. And we We really wanted to keep our perspective and our sympathies on the ground at this moment, because those are the people who are really paying the price for the decisions that she's making.
Oh mate, we were laughing the whole fucking time. You failed spectacularly in your goal. It's hard to care when you watch arguably the most important character in this entire series do something so fucking ludicrous. People say that this has been teased for many seasons, ever since season 2. Yeah, it was teased that she could go mad, given the proper motivation. In season 7, she's defensive about the throne and her position of power, but is still adamant about helping people. She lets soldiers
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
She saves Jon from the White Walkers and parlays with Cersei for the greater good in season 7, and she fights alongside Jon against the White Walkers to save everyone. None of this suggests that Daenerys is willing to slaughter innocent people and infants. Absolutely none of it. Losing friends and advisors doesn't fucking change that, because they never had to tell her, don't burn babies. Do you understand? Also, while writing this, I just remembered that the White Walkers were a thing. Gosh, that seems so long ago, doesn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Grey Worm the Murderer.
I think that Jon is also in a kind of denial. At first, the siege is a war. Soldiers killing soldiers. That's what war is.
I think Jon is someone who's always been a very good soldier, who has never enjoyed being a soldier. He's been trained as a fighter from the time he was a little boy, and he's quite good at it. He's quite good at leading men into battle, and he also hates it. I think for him, it's all starts out seeming like it's gonna work out, and then it turns into a nightmare.
Yeah, and he fully contributes to that nightmare until he decides, after what feels like eternity, to be like, hey, this is bad, let's get out of the city. You turn him into Daenerys' whipping boy, and then you just have him standing there gawking like a brainless mice, just following the chaos until he realizes who the fuck raised him. It was this guy, by the way.
When she takes off and starts burning the city, the Unsullied on the ground and the Northmen on the ground take that as their cue that it's a moral free-for-all. The good guys are behaving like the bad guys, and the bad guys in this shot are the ones who are doing all of these horrific things around him, who are his own men. The moral lines that he's drawn for himself in his own life can't be maintained for everyone in all situations.
All I heard was, it's shocking, right? Are you guys shocked yet? We like to shock you. Please tell us that you're shocked. And we were just like, well, after we held back our laughter, we were just like, meh, whatevs. I wonder what's on Netflix.
Go home, go.
It's a small scene, but it's also for us one of the most important scenes in the whole episode, because it's the culmination of their story together.
And you'll be dead too if you don't get out of here.
Oh, fuck off. You could have had that scene anywhere and any time you liked. It just had to take place at Cersei's front door, didn't it? I can appreciate the scene for what it is and for what you tried to do, but again, it breaks all bounds of reason in order to happen. Arya has been waiting to kill Cersei since Ned's execution 8 seasons ago. You really think she's gonna tuck-tail and run when she could have just walked up the stairs and stabbed her? She rode all the way down from Winterfell. No, sorry. She teleported from Winterfell and walked through a King's Landing under siege to get to the Red Keep. She's not going to run away, you idiot. You should have had that scene at the King's Landing gates.
I'm going to kill her.
The road to vengeance always ends in one place, which is what the Hound is saying to her here. I've made my choice a long time ago, and this could only end in one possible way for me. But for you, you have so many other options.
Look at me! You want to be like me?
Testing 1 2 3.
The Hound has genuinely come to have affection for Arya. I think he loves her as much as he's capable of loving someone. And he knows that if she comes with him at this point, she's not going to make it out of there.
Sandor. Thank you.
Being totally honest here, my heart fucking melted while watching that scene. And I'm not saying the Hound wasn't consistent with his character, because he certainly is. I can believe this scene from the Hound's perspective, but not from Arya's. She's come way too far to turn back now. She instantly turns from, I want vengeance, to, oh my god, you saved my life, thank you. The acting is on point, sure, but the reasoning and writing behind it is retarded. This was a choice made for the highest
testing 1
resonance
2
without
3.
any sense of logic,
Testing
and it
1 2
plays
3.
in Arya's
Testing.
next sequence.
Hello, big brother.
We've always wanted to see these two face off again, and they finally did. It struck us that it would be kind of apocalyptically beautiful to see them fighting on this stairway to nowhere, with the sky in the background and the dragon flying by and the flames everywhere.
We knew that these two were going to die together at each other's hands, and we knew that the Hound's death had to be a death by fire. So the one thing stronger in the Hound than his fear of fire is his hatred of the person who put that fear there in the first place.
Testing 1 2 3 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 testing
It's glaringly
testing 1
obvious
2
that
3
this was set up to adhere to the memes and nothing more. If Hound really cared about vengeance this much, then why the fuck didn't he seek out the mountain at the earliest opportunity instead of building churches in season 6? And where the fuck was that courtyard full of chickens? If you're gonna pander to the memes, at least do it right.
Feels like you needed a perspective to carry you through this horror, like you need a Virgil to take you through the hell that Danny's building.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the only reason Arya was ever at the Red Keep. It was simply done to set up this escape sequence. This entire episode, she does absolutely nothing besides walk up to the Red Keep, change her mind, and suddenly run for her life. She is only in King's Landing for POV shots, and nothing more.
The reason we decided to follow Arya out of King's Landing and to see the fall of King's Landing through her eyes is something that we talked about with an earlier episode. You just care a lot more when you're with a character that you care about. So if we saw a lot of extras running around on fire and buildings falling apart, it might have been visually interesting, but it wouldn't have had much of an emotional impact. But when you're there on the ground with Arya, who's one of the people we care the most about, then everything takes on that much more of an edge.
Yeah, well, that's cheating, you see, because we don't give a shit about Danny anymore.
Testing
Because
1
what you made
2
her do
3
is absolutely
testing
retarded.
1
So
2
to stop us
3
laughing
testing
our asses
1
off,
2
you put one of the
3
most beloved characters
testing
of the show in
testing
King's
1
Landing,
2
despite it not making any fucking
testing
sense, so the
1
audience
2
has to
3
care.
testing
And make no
testing
mistake, the only
1
reason
2
I
3
gave a shit
testing
about what was going
testing
on
1
was
2
because
3
I'm heavily invested in Arya. But Arya should have never been there. And if she was, she should have done what she was built up to do for 8 seasons, which is kill the queen. If she's not there to kill the queen, she's only there to look scared and run away.
We knew that the Hound would be convincing her to part ways with him and to not go to her death. And once she decides she needs to get out of the city, well, she's in the worst possible place you can be. So she's got to get from that central point all the way outside the walls of the city. It's the longest, hardest journey anybody has to make in the entire episode.
Like I said, they put her there solely because it was the most dangerous place. During Daenerys' rampage, she's there only to escape the city while it burns to the ground. Also, what the fuck was that horse doing there? Was I the only one thinking that? And look at all those dead bodies, like we're supposed to give a shit.
You know, there's a scene several years ago where Jaime and Bronn are talking about how they want to go, and Jaime's talking about dying in the arms of the woman he loves. And this is it.
I think he knows that they belong together, that they came into this world together, that they need to go out of this world together.
Yeah, except he left her at the end of season 7 because she's a monster
1
and
2
refused
3
to help stop the
testing
dead from
1
coming to
2
kill her
3
people.
testing 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3 testing.
Also, I've had someone tell me in the comments that you can be addicted to someone if you're in love. Yes, that's absolutely true. But Jaime broke that addiction when he left King's Landing. I don't care what anyone says. Him going back to Cersei the way that these idiots wrote it makes absolutely no sense.
Once he goes through the various exits and they're all clogged up with rubble and there's no way out, and he knows there's no way out, he's just trying to calm down the woman he loves because he knows this is it.
Look at me! Just look at me. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Only us.
I think Jaime, by the end of episode 5, has come to terms with who he really is. And he may not be happy with who he really is, but he knows he's not. He knows what matters to him, and Cersei is what matters to him.
Yeah, so in other words, Fuck Jamie's 8-year journey and the fans who grew to love him, I guess. Fuck you. Right, so that concludes the response. Honestly, this episode was such a damn shame. People keep saying that I just want to hate this episode because there's a bandwagon for it, and that I'm blatantly ignoring stuff like CinemaSins does. Now, if you're one of those people saying that, then, well, first of all, fuck you, and second, nothing could be further from the truth. Why would I want to hate something I've been invested in for years? A show I used to watch on repeat. A show I used to procrastinate at university in order to watch. Why would I want this piece of art that started so great, this piece of art that I loved, why would I want it to turn bad? The simple answer is, I don't, and never did. But well, here we are. And you want to know what honestly fucking infuriates me? Is if you watch the extended documentary of this episode, the amount of professionalism on display from the production crew is incredible. The way that they built this entire city-sized set, the amount of detail, the cinematography, the blend of CGI with the practical, and the acting on display was masterclass from just about everyone. There is so much to praise about this episode. The cast and crew should be fucking proud of themselves. Seeing how much technical work went into this blew my mind, and it should definitely be commended. However, none of that matters because none of that can be taken seriously, and nobody is going to care if the writing is bad. Why would I care about the spectacle I'm watching if I see people teleporting, if I see characters betraying who they are at their foundation, if I see plot armor that protects a young girl from being scorched by dragonfire, and if I see giant plot holes that turn the story into a joke? If you can see through all the bullshit and enjoy this episode, I'm genuinely happy for you. But the writing is the most important part of any television series, because if that fails, then everything else fails with it. Writing is the foundation. If the foundation is broken, then everything else collapses. And that is Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 5 in a nutshell. I wanted to respond to this documentary because upon watching it, I couldn't believe the stupidity in the thought process of writing this. When I call these two Dumb and Dumber or the worst writers in history, I'm not being hyperbolic. I believe those words because I have nothing more incompetent to compare it to. Though I will admit, Rian Johnson is a close second. And well now, much like Sansa Stark, Star Wars just got over one horrifying ordeal, and now it's going to have to face another. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Wanted to be like
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
like him, she chose the murder path, and now half of her face is fucking burned and shit, and like she's fucking hound. I was like, oh yeah, and then no, they didn't do that.
She's just dirty.
I was like, no, what? No, like there's just so many cool things you can do. Like there's so many cool. I just like kept being like, oh, maybe it'll be cool. No, never mind. All right, back to our slides. So she's like, okay, peace, I'm out. Finally, we get the Clegane Bowl. It was pretty underwhelming. He kills Qyburn.
I think it went the only way it could go.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what else are they gonna do?
But even he's like you stab him in the brain. I think he's a zombie. He's like kind of like a zombie. So I was thinking you gotta stab him in the brain. That's how you kill zombies. He finally gets him in the brain, but then I guess that doesn't even do it. And he's just like, I guess he's immortal.
I really liked them. I really liked the Hound, like realizing like, what do I have to do to kill you? I liked his frustration.
Right.
That was like a wrestling match.
Right.
Like, what do I have to? How many times do I have to hit my finisher on you?
What do I have to do, bro? I just want to kill you. And
for surprises, like you want to talk about something that I thought would have been completely. I'm not against things that you don't expect because I thought it would have been cool right here when the Mount kills this guy.
Yeah, kills Qyburn.
And he kills Qyburn. If Cersei got in front of him and was like, look, you
like,
listen
come with me.
And he just bashed her skull in right there. And
then
he killed
Cersei
her,
was dead.
And then he fought the Hound after, and everybody just left with, what the fuck? You just killed Cersei.
I know.
Like
when your fucking guard dog turns on you.
When your guard dog turns on you, that happens. You can't have a mad dog around.
You can't have a crazy ass dog.
And be surprised.
It's gonna bite you at some point.
And that if he would have just turned around and bashed her skull in too, and that would have left at like, huh?
Right. And that's like everyone's like, oh, Game of Thrones is about subverting your expectations. And it's like, this isn't a well-written, intelligent subverting my expectations. I'm subverting because it's so dumb. Like, it's so dumb. It's dumber than I imagined it could be, you know? It's just like, this is not, I would have been down for that. All right, let's keep going here. Jaime finds Cersei, and then they're like, okay, fine, we're in love again, and let's get out of here. But I mean, when shit's falling down around you, of course, you cut the bullshit.
Finally now, like they've been offering her this moment of it's over for seasons.
Yeah.
Like, knock it off. This is done. Like
come on.
She's like,
Yeah.
I don't give up. And this is where that leads you.
Yeah.
To a cave.
She
got to sneeze.
Yeah. Yeah. I just,
You're right.
all
the smoke in the air.
Yeah, I mean, her scenes like dealing with like all the horribleness of war was pretty great.
Cool.
I mean, they did a really great job of showing you the horrors of fucking war.
Yeah, those two bodies burned, hugging each other.
I know that Pompeii shit, you know.
It's like Saving Private Ryan.
It was definitely a lot of Saving Private Ryan shit in here. Next up. So the Clegane Bowl ends in a tie. when they fell out, I was like, and it's a tie.
That's exactly what happened.
It was a draw.
There's no satisfaction. Like there's no like. There wasn't a winner. Like, I mean, he killed the Mountain, sure, kinda.
Yeah.
You know, like he got what he wanted, sure, kinda.
Yeah,
you know?
but after all that stuff you've seen the Mountain do, it's still not satisfying.
Yeah.
I want to see him at least splattered on some rocks or something.
Right. Oh, I'd like to see him do something like where he's got to grab fire and like, okay, so burning or stabbing his brother isn't working. Maybe fire does it, and he's scared of fire, so he has to overcome his fear of fire and uses fire on his brother.
Set him on fire.
And maybe that doesn't work either, but like it would have been cool to see him, in his arc, overcome it just for this one instance of the man, because the man burned him, like his brother has put his face in the fire. So it's like that would have been cool, but no, they didn't.
Or I was thinking when I was watching it that the dragon was going to get the Mountain after he was about to kill his brother.
Oh yeah.
I thought Arya's gonna come back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you thought Arya's gonna show up?
Like she's not gonna ditch him like when he needs her in this battle.
She was like, you're right, old dude.
People.
You're old and ready to go. I'm still. I just got fucked for the first time. I want more of that, so I got to get out of here. You know, I can't end on Gendry. You know,
No.
that wasn't satisfying. I got to try again somewhere else. So Arya's out trying to help the people around. I love that we're like, we gotta get out of here, and then they end up dead in like 2 seconds.
That's cool.
But it's like they're gonna die anyways, you know. It's like doesn't matter what you do, girl. I was just like, get the fuck away from them. You just do you, girl. Like it's a free for all. But yeah, so Jaime and Cersei are trying to escape. They're in the catacombs under the Red Keep. Everything's falling apart. Their one route of escape has been blocked. And everything's just falling around them. And it's like, on the one hand, I like the metaphor of them being lost in a maze of bullshit, you know, like, and it's like underneath the Red Keep, which is like this huge symbol of Westeros, you know, like lost in the bowels of this fucking place, and they're trapped there, you know, trapped in this castle, you know, which is like, that's what they wanted to keep, and now they're trapped by it. And then they're, you know, they came out of the womb together, they're dying together, okay, that's poetic, whatever, I guess. You know, they're being buried alive together. But I thought, okay, so the Valonqar thing. So there was a whole thing where Maggie the Frog gave her a prophecy when she was a kid saying you're going to outlive all three of your kids. You're going to have 3 kids, and you're going to see them all die. And then your little brother's gonna kill you.
He did kind of kill her.
But that's the thing. I was like, oh, so are they know that they're gonna die, and so they just do a suicide pact, and he kills her, and then he just lays down with her? No, they didn't do that. It's like, what? Like, they're just gonna sit there? Like, okay, that would be subverting your expectation, because you think, oh, Tyrion's gonna kill her out of spite, or Jaime's gonna kill her out of spite. But no, he did kill her, but it was like a mercy kill.
If they were coming,
like she asked him to do it.
Don't let them get me.
Don't let them get me.
Don't let them get me. Don't let me. She's gonna burn me with a fucking dragon.
Right. Like,
do not let them get me.
Do it quickly.
Right.
You know, like, kill me quickly.
And where he has like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, I love
right.
you. Yeah.
And then that would be, I mean, if you want to really have him turn and go back to Cersei, and you wanted to have them die as lovers, that would be the most poetic thing to do. Is like, if you're gonna do that shitty move, have him, you know, like, have him kill her because and then they die together.
And then a couple people sees Jaime kill her, and he like gets to be
the Queenslayer. And then he gets to live on as the Queenslayer as well. And that would, fuck you, Kingslayer, fuck, that would have been cool. Because then he didn't want to be the Queenslayer, but then he has to, you know? It's like he has
to wear that too.
That would be fucking dope. Nope, they didn't do that. Didn't do that. All right, what else did they not do? The Valonqar was not mentioned in the show. Was it not? Well, that sucks. It should have been. So Arya, you know, she's death now. She finds a pale horse. So she's coming for Daenerys.
Fuck yeah, she is.
Honestly,
I don't like how we got there.
Right.
But I do like this to me. The
you know what? I hope she kills Jon and takes his face.
That'd be pretty badass.
To go get to her, but they're not gonna do that. But that's what I want.
Arya against the final bad guy, the final boss, should be the end of this show. I just did not expect that final boss to
beat Dany.
1, 2, 3, testing.
Because she's fought the bosses, you know.
Yeah. She's fought the bosses.
And then each episode, they keep setting you up like, oh, here's the bad guys. It's the Night King. It's like, all right, no, it's Cersei. Oh, actually, it turns out it's Dany. Like,
testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Just
testing 1, 2, 3.
Just because like Tormund was like doing boy talk,
testing.
You know, like at the party.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Like,
Testing.
Testing.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
That you need this guy to suck your dick too? Like, he doesn't know you.
He's a wildling.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Why do you care? Like, why are you like taking this personally? This guy's just an idiot, and he's happy for his bro. He's supporting his bro. You're not his friend.
He can be happy for him without it meaning anything detrimental to you.
Right. It's like they made her so petty over the last few episodes, and it's like, and I understand that, like, yeah, seeing your fucking friend's head cut off, but I mean, this is war, bitch. You didn't think
you feel who you're dealing with?
You didn't think that she might die under your fucking rule at some point? Like, her hanging out with you was not going to lead directly to her fucking death at some point, potentially? Like, I mean, come on. Was that all the slides? Are there any more? Or
that's it. That's the end.
Yeah. So we haven't seen what Tyrion's up to. We don't know where he is.
Stupid.
He's something stupid that doesn't matter. Jaime and Cersei are dead. The Hound and the Mountain are dead. You know, Daenerys is, I guess, taking the throne.
Testing.
Whatever's left of it. I guess.
I wanted to see a shot to find out what the throne's condition is.
Yeah.
Like, did it collapse onto the throne, or how much of the Red Keep was still left?
Well, it's like, if you remember, she had that vision a long time ago, and it looked like it was snowing.
Yeah.
But now you know that it was ash. And that she caused it. You know. So, Megalo Maze I wonder if the horse was Bran warged. I know. Somebody said if Bran like ordered an Uber for her.
Sure, here we go.
Ordered Arya an Uber.
That's funny.
That would be really funny.
1, 2, 3. Testing.
But yeah, I don't want to see Jon on the Iron Throne after all this. Do they think that people want to see Jon on the throne?
Yeah,
Do you guys want to see Jon on the throne?
No, he bumbled his way through the whole show. He didn't earn it.
He didn't earn it? Like,
he's like a good dude.
Yeah,
like,
he's a good guy.
He's a good,
I like him.
Yeah.
He's a good person that has.
He does not need to be a king of the Seven Kingdoms. He doesn't need to be, and it's not. And I get that you want to have somebody who doesn't want to be the king. I
Ultimately,
understand
that's
that.
the guy you want.
But not this one.
Not
Like,
him.
He's stupid.
He's smart enough to know he shouldn't have that job.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's another concept that could work if you portrayed it right. Like, the idea of someone that doesn't want the throne being the right person for it is the right idea, but they didn't portray it through the whole 8 seasons.
Yeah. It's not right.
What is the most disappointing part for you guys? Is it Danny's heel turn, or is it Jaime's arc being ruined? His retro arc.
I mean, honestly, I identify more with Daenerys, so for me personally, I'm more pissed about the Daenerys thing.
Yeah.
But that's on a personal level.
Yeah.
Arya and Cersei were the two things that bummed me out the most. Like
Arya and Cersei?
Cersei's the smartest person on this goddamn show and always has plans on top of plans.
Dude, this is what I think Cersei should have done. This is how she should have gone out. So, remember how she blew up the Sept of Baelor?
Yes.
She pulls that again. She has the Red Keep filled with fucking wildfire, okay? She knows Daenerys is going to come over to the Red Keep, you know? Like, and she doesn't know whether this is going to kill the dragon, but it'll definitely kill Daenerys, probably. Like, wildfire, that hasn't been tried on her. You know, maybe it'll work. And so when Daenerys comes in to the Red Keep and flies in, she fucking sets it off, goes down with the ship, tries to take Daenerys with her. I don't know, you know, the dragon maybe lives, maybe she doesn't, I don't know. But that would be a cool like draws her in and fucking explodes herself. It was like fucking, it was a trap.
I just couldn't believe that her final moments were spent crying and like being the complete opposite. Like, get out of here,
running and crying.
Get out of here. That means all the rest of it was a joke. Like to
I
be.
mean, I feel like that's every character. You know, like all the progress they made was a joke, and none of it meant anything in the end, and none of it was satisfying. And like this shitty show really shows how fucking good Avengers Endgame was.
Yeah, that was satisfying.
That's fucking satisfying.
They did the impossible.
Dude,
yes.
It's like Tony Stark. I've been hanging out with Tony Stark for like, what, 10 years, 9 years now or whatever? Like, and I've seen his character for as long as almost as long as these characters. I've been with them. And like, he has this amazing arc where it's like he goes from being this fucking war profiteer, playboy who doesn't give a fuck about anybody but himself, to becoming Iron Man, and then having to be humbled from that, and then like having a fucking idyllic dispute with fucking Captain America, and that fucking going sideways, but then like trying like then fucking other shit. I mean, it's just like you've been through with all this stuff, and then at the end you see like, oh, he sacrifices himself. You know, he goes from someone who's very, very selfish to someone who sacrifices
He did the
himself for
thing that he
everybody.
said over and over again he would never do.
You know?
Yeah, like,
and it's just like so satisfying. It just feels good. And I'm not saying that Game of Thrones, I don't think it needs to be a feel-good, happy ending. I'm not looking for a happy ending with Game of Thrones. I'm not looking for a feel-good ending, but I do want some satisfaction.
I would settle for consistency.
Yeah.
You know,
some consistency with the characters of these people that have been built up over 8 seasons.
Well, I'm not sure that the writers understand the characters and also understand how the audience feels about the characters.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Akira the Don said it the best. He said in his tweets, "Wow, they did it again. I was expecting Game of Thrones to be bad last night. ... Yet it was way worse than bad. This was actively anti-human, nonsensical, moron tier nihilist trash. It was an all-out assault on beauty, and this was borderline evil. Bravo."
Nihilism. When that first season that was completely written off the books,
Yeah.
I felt like it was nihilistic.
Well, he said, Game of Thrones is now on the list of stuff I will firmly regret on my deathbed. What a foolish waste of precious life. I could have learned a language, an instrument, a fighting technique. And it's like, yeah, man. I mean, it's such a bummer.
Like, to me, they cannot steal the joy of when Game of Thrones was great. They can't. You know, I will not. I don't care what. I don't care if they play the biggest turd ever in the finale. Like, I have been given knowledge,
right,
and feelings, and all the rest of it by this show, and I will not let them steal my
And
joy.
you know
I'm
what?
glad for you to say that.
There's still the book series, though. There's a book series. Like, I'm here for the book series. Look, this hasn't stopped me from wanting to read Winds of Winter and Song of Spring if we ever get that.
This is a choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
And this is the way that went. And in the books, that will be some other way. Different adventures will be chosen. Like, there's no way.
I'm glad you feel that way. However, I woke up last night in the middle of the night and was bothered by this, not expecting to be. Like, I was like, yeah, I knew it was probably going to be disappointing. Like, we've known this whole season, but like, wasn't expected to be really bothered by this, because this is a story that's like, this is the biggest cultural TV show maybe ever, where the amount of people have gotten involved in it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going. Maybe MASH was huge in the day before me, but like, so many people are involved in this.
It's a different world.
Yeah, and we're all like really involved in this, and so this is a story of our lives that we're mirroring our own world to in certain ways.
Yeah.
And to see it go in this direction where it's just.
Testing 1 2 3.
What is it? What does that mean? How is that going to affect us? Like,
Exactly.
I'm having existential issues with this decision.
I mean, I am too, because it's like, again, it's like I identify with Daenerys, I identify with Jean Grey. I've got not one but two of my totems popping the fuck off and burning everything
I
down.
can't imagine.
And I'm like, Am I gonna do that? Am I next? You know, it's like, am I fucking next? Like, it worries me. Like, it really worries me. But I think it's also like a challenge to like rise above. You know, it's like it's a challenge to rise above and not to like give into the temptation.
Be better than Danny.
Of just raising the earth. You know, like, so we'll see. But in June, it's interesting because in June, I'm the Dark Phoenix in the calendar, in the Not Safe for Work calendar, and so I've been. My calendars are alchemically tied to me, like they are. We're very much tied energetically together, and so that month I really have to be on my guard, and I have to like just try to use my powers to destroy things that need to be destroyed versus like destroying things just for out of spite or because I'm trying to be angry and like get some vent because I can't do something else. You know, it's like I just need to like be constructive with my destruction. In June,
things needed to get fucked up last night. There's no doubt about it. She needed to murder some people,
but
just not
like
the other people.
Everybody, and then the Northmen are like in on it too. I mean, they're like raping and pillaging.
Grey Worm was ready to not to rape, but Grey Worm was ready. Like, see the look on his face, like, what? I don't get to kill all these dudes? Like, I wanted to kill all these guys.
Like, I was ready to like die today.
Which I don't mind that. That's something that happens in war. Like that's realistic in a way. But the thing about Daenerys is she was a good-hearted person. Like you felt like she had a good soul this whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
it just feels like such a betrayal.
She's spicy. She's intense. But I've never seen her be just a straight-up murderer. Like, unless somebody like, I mean, everybody that she fucked with like had it coming. You know?
I mean, had it coming. According to her, you don't bend the knee, you die. Sure.
Well.
Headline of USA Today this morning was Game of Thrones burns itself to the ground.
Yeah. I wonder what the producers.
How they feel right now?
Yeah.
Oh, they got to be feeling it, sensing it by now.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they know.
I mean, Twitter's like a flame.
Yeah, but I did see the showrunners a few seasons back say we don't look on social media anymore because it's too upsetting.
They shouldn't. Yeah. They need to. They shouldn't. Yeah.
Which I feel bad for them in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still processing it too, and like it's also like we'll see what happens in our final episode. I'll fucking watch it. I'm not excited about it.
I'm interested.
It's like, all right.
I'm interested for sure.
How are you gonna ruin this worse? You know, like how can we get any worse? We'll find out because I'm sure they won't disappoint me. Oh
testing
my God.
one.
I can't.
One testing one.
Yes, it's had shocking moments. Like there was in the first season, Ned Stark died in the end of the first season, and that was like shocking, and it was upsetting to a lot of people. They're like, "Fuck this show." People were angry, but other people were like intrigued because what that said is it went against what you expected from normal TV shows. Right? It subverted your expectations, but it also told you this is a more realistic world. This is not a TV show world.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody's safe, but the good characters have to also make smart decisions. Right. They have to play within the rules. They have to play the Game of Thrones.
Testing one. Testing one.
They have a fantasy setting, a fantasy backdrop, but the way they play it is
testing
absolutely power games.
Two. Testing two. Testing two.
Real. You know, it's a fantasy world played real, and it's complicated. The Game of Thrones is pretty intense, and it's going on right now, and it's been going on for thousands of years, and it's going to continue to go on for a while. And the way that they're portraying it is just, it went from a realistic portrayal into a cartoonish, kind of nihilistic portrayal, where it's just like, this isn't, you know, darkness isn't like reality, you know, it's like, in reality, yeah, good people get fucked over. Not necessarily, I don't know.
And it's only Jon Snow now.
Testing two.
And we use that term, yes.
Everybody else
testing two.
Directly led to all of this.
Everybody else is a shithead now.
Shitty decisions have directly led to all of this, you know? I don't get it. And there's so many cool things we could say, you know, like we had a chance to maybe humanize Cersei against the Night King. That would have been cool. I would have liked to see. I love seeing, as much as I love seeing a heel turn, I love a villain who redeems themselves. Sure. That's even better. You know, it's what's better than a hero going bad is when a fucking bad guy goes good. And like to make you like her in the end, that would be subverting
the most
everything.
Unexpected thing that could happen.
That would be so cool and so weird and subversive, and I'm so here for it. But it's like, no. Or you could say something about, you know, it's like Jon and Daenerys, you know, they fucking work together. You know, man and woman work together. They're not fighting each other for power. You know?
The only reason that can't happen is because Danny.
You know,
like he would be fine. Like you, like all right. Like,
I'll marry you, whatever.
whatever
You
you
can
gotta do.
you'll do whatever. You can rule it as much as you want. I'll go hang out over here in the Godswood. Maybe I'll just be up north for a while. I don't know. It's like I don't get it. You could say some cool things.
Yeah, I mean,
Cooler things than like women with power go nuts and kill
Whoa.
everybody
They
after they don't get the dick.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Tony Stark saved the day.
He did.
I'm just gonna hang on to that. I'm just gonna hang on. I'm just gonna hang on to Tony.
Steve Rogers married.
He got it.
Agent Carter.
He fucking got it. You know, that was good. I feel good about that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter
do too.
Parker's back. Feel good about that.
We should go see it again as a palate cleanser.
I know. It's like this is like how you have a 10-year story arc and like fucking do some cool stuff with it and like you know.
3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 3
But it's a miracle when it
testing
does happen
3
because it's so
3
rare to make something so satisfying.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys.
testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3
Let's
3
do some memes, guys.
Memes will make you happy.
Yeah, let's try it. This is the best ending we can hope for at this point. 7 hells. I had a terrible dream, Cat.
Yeah.
Da, 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 you know?
I saw one that said, Cat said, "Don't go south, Ned." And he said, "Okay." It was like that was the end.
That was the end. The end. Well, that's the thing. If people just listen, if Bran had listened to Cat, if Bran had listened to his mom and not fucking climbed up the tower, he would have never seen Cersei and Jaime. None of this would have happened.
Yep.
And if Ned hadn't gone south,
None of this
would have happened. So if you got a good ass wife, like listen to that bitch, man. Like your mom knows the fuck she's talking. Like listen to this chick. Like fuck, man. Look how many people died because they didn't listen to fucking. They didn't listen to Cat. Ugh. This is really funny. HBO and the fans are saying, so, how long do I have to look? As long as it pleases me. And then just like all the fucking shitty things that are going on with the show. Utterly pessimistic ending with no sense of satisfaction.
Pointless character progression.
Abandoned characters and plot lines. Broken logic. Like, that's, yeah. That was a good one. I like that one a lot. This is Avengers. I just fucking. Avengers and Game of Thrones memes are like the best right now.
3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3
how my gay ass and my girl BFF look when someone tell us that we should date because we look good together.
Testing 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3
So much. Such a mood.
The Danny one. I've seen a lot.
I just like this one. Infomercial. I love that the slap chop thing just started going around. Like some younger people who never saw the slap chop commercials. You're gonna love my nuts.
Slap chop is serious business.
It's back around. It has a second coming of slap chop right now. I'm like, oh, fuck. Am I that old? Come on.
Yes.
Slap chop isn't that old.
I feel like it's before the internet.
Fuck. It's not before the internet.
Not before like Twitter.
Yeah.
What was that, like 08?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The kind of John Ghost deserves.
Yeah.
He deserves the John Wick.
Way better than Jon Snow.
I know. Fuck that guy.
Are you gonna see John Wick 3?
Hell yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Because, look, a dude who knows the moves, that's what I'm a sucker for.
I love it.
Good sign.
testing 3 3 3 3 3
Like, this is another example of a man who does not know the woman that he claims to be in love with. He doesn't know her at all.
Doesn't know her at all.
And what universe does that go well for him, trying to get Ari to marry him?
testing 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3
in front of a fucking fire and
you know nothing.
You don't know anything about anything.
testing 3
Moving on. I gave that to somebody on Twitter. That was my second law of power that I sent to that guy.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, so here's some more John and Ghost and the Dragon memes. There's a lot of these, man. People really like on fire with these.
testing 3 3 3 testing
You're not
3
father.
3
Telling your honor. Which, by the way, that never went anywhere.
testing
Like, it's like, okay, so she's
3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3
Like, Jamie didn't even say, like, like, by the way, that's my fucking baby,
Or your aunt could have
dumbass.
still believed it was his. He's been like,
And been like,
"I'll
our
live on
baby, our baby. And he's like, bitch, that's my baby. They didn't even bring that up in their fucking fight, you fucking assholes.
The only thing they could legitimately have beef about.
It's the only fucking thing they could have beef about. No, because I was yelling. I didn't want to like yell into the mic like that. I was trying to save
sounds a lot
everyone's
better.
fucking. I was trying to save y'all's fucking.
Remember your original theory back in the beginning of the season that it had something to do with the Night King
Yeah.
and the baby?
Yeah, that would be way cooler.
Oh, the Night King needed a baby.
Yeah, she's gonna make an alliance or some shit with the Night King or something. No.
I'm also disappointed that Cersei didn't have to deal with the White Walkers at all.
Yeah.
They give us a story from the North.
No.
A nonsense story.
I love
It's
this.
still nonsense to them.
This
Yeah,
is-
it's a nonsense story.
This is it.
It's pretty hilarious.
This is hilarious, yeah.
And like, here's the thing, guys. I don't like. Why did they breeze through the fucking books so fucking fast? They could have made each of those books. I mean, I get the first season. They don't know whether this is gonna be a hit or not. They don't know what they have on their hands. They're trying it out. They decide to
They
fit
have
the
to
whole
get to
first book.
They have to get to Ned Stark
Yeah,
died.
they have to. You
Yeah,
know, so
yeah,
it's
you're
like,
right.
okay, I get that.
Three,
Okay,
testing,
but
three,
then it fucking blows up pretty
three,
quickly.
testing, three,
Pretty
three,
quickly from there, and it's like,
three,
you could have slowed
testing, three,
down, stretched that material out. You could have got 2 to 3 seasons at one book.
testing, three, testing,
Anyways,
three.
so yeah, so now it's just it's nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like not watching Twitter for the last.
That's exactly what the guy at the convenience store, we said to him yesterday. He was like, oh, we're watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
seen
Jamie
it?
McKelvey. I like that artist. He's cool.
He said, no, oh, since it's so disappointing, good thing I didn't.
I know, totally.
This is a reference to that one meme with the little girl.
Yeah, the girl with the little evil expression.
Yeah.
Yeah. When your nephew won't bang
Yeah.
you. By the way, follow Dr. Greyfang. I like Dr. Greyfang memes. They've got some good ones. But yeah, this is my meme. She a mad queen, and then I was like, Tony Stark, who's all the way over it, watching it, and just like so upset. Because if you on Twitter, there's like this girl did this edit of the scene from Avengers: Infinity War where Tony Stark is talking to the Guardians, and the Guardians are just fucking stupid, and like he just can't, you know, like he's just like Peter Quill starts saying dumb shit to him, Drax is saying dumb shit to him, Mantis is saying dumb shit to him, and he's like, we're all doomed. We're all fucking doomed, you know? And this is like from that.
Testing, three, testing, three, testing, three.
That's how I feel. I feel like all the way over at Tony Stark. Well, I'm just like, no, I can't. Something else. Somewhere are you, Game of Thrones fan? I'm something else now.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm something else now. I don't know what I am. It's pretty vague.
Something else.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan.
Watchers. I'm a Game of Thrones watcher.
God, how sad is it for everyone who named their daughter Daenerys or their dog Daenerys or whatever the fuck? Like, I'm sure they're just so bummed. Yeah, there's Akira's tweets about it being fucking shitty.
So many, like, Halloween costumes ruined, all of it.
Alan Griffith says, until last night, well, the season as a whole, really, I thought you had been a tad harsh on the TV show since it diverged from the books. No longer. The last 2 episodes have comfortably been the worst assassination of a TV show since Henry Winkler jumped a shark. And
It's a Happy Days reference for the youngsters out there.
I've had a lot of people tweeting me saying, like, you were right.
Yeah.
I was mad at you. I didn't want to hear it.
Well, the thing is,
You're
like,
totally right.
this show blew up so much back in 2013, 14, and when we started doing rewinds and you started going from praising it and talking about how great the books were to like talking about the problems in the show. Oh, this isn't looking good. People didn't want to hear that at all for a couple of years.
No.
They were pissed.
They always shoot the messenger, dude. They always shoot the messenger, and that's fine. I've come to accept that. It's part of, like, the deal, you know.
Like a page of swords.
Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying.
Testing, testing, three, testing, three, testing, 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 three, testing, 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 three.
Is way easier than writing a TV show.
With a billion fucking loose ends. A billion fucking loose ends.
Well, I wonder if having that brilliant material gave them a false confidence in themselves. Because anytime they would write something that they made up, they're like, well, we made this part. Oh, they loved it too. Oh, we're great. And then when they do it all on their own,
It was hard. And they're not George R.R. Martin. You know, it's like, I mean, they may be really great television writers, but they're not George R.R. Martin. And they're television writers.
Most of those dudes all went to the same schools. They learned one way. They learned how to R&B and television writing.
And television writing is like about speed and getting it done, and like it's not like thinking about it for 10 years and then type, you know, like
It's completely acceptable in television to, as a plot, whenever the plot calls for it, to make your characters dumb.
Yeah.
To make them make dumb decisions, and that happens all TV and movies. Because basically they make stupid dumb decisions, and that sets off the adventure. So that's how television's writers write television.
Testing 3 3 3 testing. Testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 testing. Testing 3 3 3 3 testing. Testing testing. Testing 3 3 3 3 testing. Testing testing 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 testing testing 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 testing 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 3 3 3 3 testing testing 3 3 3 3 3 testing 3 3 3 3 3 3 testing testing 3 3 3 3
I like the whole John, like, oh, we're the baddies. You know, I love it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Maybe we should have just stayed in North for a minute. Yes. Big shout out to Lena Headey Mood, who made $1 million an episode this season for standing at a window drinking a glass of wine and icon, a true queen. And somebody was like, no, she only got 500,000. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's still a lot fucking more than I make. And all she had to do was sit at a fucking window still. So that's pretty great. Back when Game of Thrones was written like Game of Thrones, so you have Littlefinger, and he's like, knowledge is power, and then she's like, seize him, cut his throat, stop, wait, I've changed my mind, let him go, turn around, step 3 paces, power is power, you know, and it's just like, oh, that's so hot, like, what a great scene. I remember that scene, I totally forgotten about it, and it's just like, yes, like, she's like, I don't give a fuck, like, I got all these guys will do whatever the fuck right now, like, I'm fucking power, shut the fuck up, like, so good. Not anymore. Oh yeah. So this is yeah, just before season 8. So we're getting ready for the poor fucking Piper Dorn. So sad when little Dorn Schmuck got killed.
I still watch this scene probably once every couple weeks for sure.
Man,
it's the best. Make me sad every time.
I know. My sweet little Dornish muffin. Anyways, that's a good one. Yeah, Tyson, I got this Friends Game of Thrones meme for you. Actually, this is for you.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2.
None.
Testing 1 2 3.
You like that?
Hell yeah.
1, 2, 3,
That's like the best of both
3.
worlds. Game of Thrones memes and Avengers memes coming together. Coming together. That's like my favorite type of shit. It's really good.
Testing 1 2
yeah,
3.
so we got some of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Testing 1 2 3.
Give me the click
Testing
ball and
1
let me
2
die.
3. Testing 1
I like that one a lot. I thought that
2
was
3.
pretty good.
Testing 1 2 3.
Remember Robert Baratheon?
Testing
Yeah, I remember
1 2
him.
3.
Gosh,
Testing
remember
1
that.
2
Remember
3.
that.
Testing 1 2 3.
I think our camera is fucked up. Oh no, there it goes. It goes. There we go. We're good. We're good. I'm really pissed off. I'm still pissed off at this show. I'm tired.
So angry.
I'm really angry. I've been working really hard. I don't have it in me to be doing funny, but I do have it in me to play some video games and chill the fuck out and like maybe have kind of Josh play it and I just like watch it and like talk and do that. I think that would be kind of cool. But we're gonna take a break and set that up and come back and play Ninjas. What the fuck?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing. 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 Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3.
And here we are live with Game of Thrones Rewind.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Game of Thrones Rewind, episode 5. I think it was called The Bells or Ring the Bell or something about the bell. I've got my guest, Johnny C, here today with me.
Hey.
Johnny C. T-Bone in the mix. J2D Star. Josh, he's here, hanging out in the background, too. So
Bringing up the rear.
Bringing up the rear. We got Josh.
And there's the lower third for Johnny C.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Do you appreciate that lower third?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if you want to follow Johnny C.
It's exciting.
Okay, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, so let's get started with our recap. So, okay, we got our boy Varys, who's like, I'm telling everybody right now, like, I'm gonna put out this fucking word. Jon Snow is the deal. He's fucking Aegon Targaryen.
How come he's the only one who stays smart, even though he's not as smart as us? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's still making the same moves that he makes.
Right, but he's just trying to tweet as much as he can. He's gonna try to tweet as much as he can.
Get some momentum.
Next slide, please. Next slide. I don't know. Tyrion tells on him, or was that last episode?
No, that was this episode.
Hold on a second. I accidentally pushed 2 times.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, and so he's like, yeah, he's going around.
Jon Snow's still crying about
Varys is talking to everybody. He's like, Daenerys is going a little bananas. I think, John, we need to fucking do something. And he's like, no. And then Tyrion's like, no. And then he's like, fuck. Okay. Moving on. And then Tyrion's doing something. I don't know.
He's gonna go tell on him too, like just
snitching
a
on
little
him.
teller.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like, you know, honestly, that's your advisor's job is to talk about you. That's what they're supposed to do, is to like meet and talk about you and discuss what's going on, so that, you know, everyone can have a situation that's great. Like, you're supposed to be the focus of their
job.
It's their job.
Testing 1,
whatever.
2, 3. Testing 1, 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 2, 3. Testing.
I don't disagree.
No, he did. You wouldn't told. You have a secret. You're supposed to say, like, this is your queen. All right, that's what Jon Snow keeps saying. This is my queen. This is my queen. This is my queen. She gives you
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1.
Don't tell your fucking sisters. Don't tell your sisters. One who hates me, and the other one who's a little murderer. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? What do you think? Like, just get out of here, Jon Snow. Like, you claim loyalty to the queen, and then she asks you to do one goddamn thing. One goddamn thing.
Just keep your mouth shut.
And I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong for him to be like all that shit. I'm saying if this
1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
This is really how you feel.
Swear your bro in. I'm not even gonna kill him. I'm not even gonna ask you to kill your friends who know this. But I'm just gonna say, you know, I'm gonna trust you guys to shut the fuck up about this.
Shut up, man. You know this is bad news. Don't say anything about it.
Like, honestly, like, John's an idiot.
He's such a.
It's like everyone's like, oh, let's make him the good guy and he goes on the Iron Throne. But to me, he's a moron who's creating this horrible situation.
He's very
absolutely an active participant in creating a terrible situation. But whatever. So next slide. Jon Snow does know nothing. It's
nothing.
True.
She was right. That hot.
Kissed by fire.
I love her.
Egret.
She was right. She was right a long time ago.
You know nothing. You've done.
This asshole already got himself killed by his brothers.
He already got himself killed, dude.
By his brothers. He already got himself killed by not.
He does not need to be on the throne.
Get out of here, Jon Snow.
Fuck off. So I don't want him on the Iron Throne. So they gotta kill Varys. She finds out, and then she's like, okay, well, I guess you're a treason person, so I gotta kill you.
Nonsense.
Which, I mean, she told him. She said, if I'm ever being crazy, tell me.
Right.
But, you know, then again, when you're crazy, then you're not going to listen to reason.
No, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Right. She's already too far gone.
Right,
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Jon Snow just stands by watching that. Get at him. Look at him with that same look on his face all the time.
Fucking dummy. Idiot. Okay.
Not sure what that is.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
So
here's the whole episode. This is the whole episode.
This is it, dude. So Daenerys has lost Jorah. She's lost 2 dragons. Not 1, but 2 dragons. She's lost her hair girl, Missandei. Her hair looks like shit now.
Oh, no one's gonna hook her up with those braids.
Who's gonna do her braids? You know, she gotta find some other Dothraki or some shit. And so at least the thing she's got left is this hot dude. She's got a cute boyfriend, you know. And she's like, at least I got this cute boyfriend, right?
I'm feeling lost.
I'm feeling
and alone.
so fucked up right now.
I'm at my worst right now.
And you've even betrayed me.
You dickhead. I asked you to do one thing and you didn't do it.
You didn't do it. Will you at least dick me down?
Dick me down.
Testing
please,
1,
Snow.
2, 3. Testing
And he's
1,
like,
2, 3.
I'm a pussy.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Like, no.
Testing 1.
I'm not gonna do it. And it's like,
testing 1,
what?
2, 3.
Like,
testing 1, 2,
you're creating a
3,
monster, bro.
testing,
Like,
this is what happens.
This girl's like having a hard time. She needs a little bit of help here.
Testing 1, 2,
You're not
3.
gonna.
Testing.
You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
How, nothing happens.
He's like, no.
Thousands of people
You're
live.
my aunt. I know. You're my aunt. If you just, yeah. That's fucking. And he's like, you already did it, dude.
You already did it.
And the Targaryens marry each other anyway.
This is not a big deal. You're a Targaryen.
Who cares?
This is not a big deal for you.
It's not a big deal.
Learn your
Shut the
fucking
fuck up.
family history.
Shut the fuck up, dude. It's too late. You already did it. You already did it. So what's like?
Fuck you, Jon.
And then he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then so she's like, she at the end of that, she's like, okay, well, all right.
This is what happens when you reject women for sex, by the way.
I know. This
like
is
if a hot chick wants to have sex with you and you turn her down for whatever reason, this is what happens.
This is what's going to happen.
Thousands of people get burned to death.
Thousands of people.
That's what happens.
That's the moral of the story.
That's exactly what that's exactly what the moral.
I'm glad you figured it out because after this episode, I couldn't tell what they were trying to say.
That's all it is. When a hot chick is like, let's have sex, you have to be like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or else.
I'm going to save these people.
Or else I'm going to burn your city down.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to invade. She's pissed. She's like telling Tyrion, if you fuck me over again,
this is it.
You're done. I'm gonna fucking kill you too, bro. So she's just turned into a big cunt now.
That's the first thing he does too.
Yeah, I know. It's the first fucking thing. Grey Worm is he's now a Terminator with no feelings.
You thought he was bad before.
He's just like he's just a robot.
Before he had
now
nothing.
He's a killing robot.
Before he had nothing.
Yeah.
He just had no idea about any of it. Now he's loved and lost. That is a much more dangerous position to be in.
Yeah. Yeah. And Tyrion's like, look, we got to figure this out. Let's just not kill everybody.
How about we just do that?
How about we just be diplomats?
Not murder everybody.
Not murder everybody.
We'll kill some people.
It's
kill
my
the
town.
soldiers.
It's my hometown.
Kill the soldiers.
Or not his hometown, but.
You got to kill the soldiers. You got to kill people who are fighting.
Yeah, let's fuck the
war.
Yeah, but we don't have to like
murder
rape and
people.
pillage.
Right.
Like we don't need to do that.
We're the good guys.
All right, next up. And he's like, I don't know if I've made the right decision. I don't know.
Picked the wrong horse.
I don't know. Fuck. All of a sudden, he's like, wow, for 8 seasons, she's really been doing super awesome. But now, over the past less than one episode, she's just making a complete 180. Okay. So everyone's getting ready for the big battle. All the people are coming in the Red Keep gate, come hanging out.
Testing.
Arya's walking in with the Hound.
That was cool.
They're like, we're gonna go fuck this bitch up.
I did like that part with them walking together. Like I just that pair, them like
they're so
mobbing
cute.
together.
They're
is
so
fucking.
cute.
They're just
murder dad and murder daughter.
No problem.
Murder family. They're little murderers, and I love them. I love them to death. Although I was like, when she was like walking around, I was like, bitch, you're not gonna put on your faceless man outfit or something? Like, you're just gonna walk around like Arya Stark, whatever.
Well, I think it just as a television show, it really does. Like, who the hell is this asshole walking with the Hound? It's a more powerful image to see them two walking together.
Yeah. But I do like that. So we have Arya on the ground trying to kill Cersei. We've got Jaime getting let go by Tyrion, so he could go run off with her.
What? They're gonna start a new life?
What?
What are you talking about?
With what money?
And Cersei's gonna live a life for 1 second where she's not the queen, where she's not in charge.
She's gonna leave?
What is she gonna do? Start a garden? Like, get out of here! Unacceptable.
What?
How come the smartest guy got?
And then Jaime already got caught, because stupid
he's
hand.
dumb as fuck.
The fucking idiot. She was right when she called him the dumbest Lannister. So by the way, we find out that Jaime didn't leave Brienne because he was going to go kill his sister. We find out that he was just a fucking he was a fuckboy, and he ruined her romance with Tormund just to go back to his sister, and goes back on everything that he's been built up with
since like the second
since
episode.
like the second episode. Like his story arc is completely null and void. It is reversed, and it is upsetting. It's unsatisfying.
And he was your favorite character in the books.
Yeah, I love him. Oh, he's made so much progress in the books, and in the show, he's just like, all that progress I made, that was a mistake. Real. That was a mistake. That wasn't me. I'm just an asshole. Get out of here. So I did like Tyrion's farewell to him. You know,
that was cool.
It was well 100%. Acted. You know, that was well acted. But yeah, so Tyrion like lets his brother go.
Just full told him nonsense about that really bothers me about going to start a new life.
Right.
Like, get out of here. Like,
you know, I could understand him just being like, hey, just get her and take her out.
Go
like,
somewhere. Not with this a harebrained idea.
Right. You guys are gonna escape across the sea, you know, and live. Get the
my one-headed brother, my bitch sister. Like,
yeah, like everyone's gonna know who the bank is gonna be after her. Like, okay, whatever. So.
This asshole.
Yeah, then we got Euron. Euron, our favorite.
There was not a single scene in the show with this character that I liked.
Well, his dumb Hot Topic outfit just kills me with all those stars. Like, it's just like...
Can you explain? I don't think you've ever explained on the show his character from the books, what he's supposed to be.
Well, he's like a mystical, dark wizard pirate.
The idea of him is super awesome.
Fucked up and like has an eye patch and and it's supposed to have an evil eye. If you see it, it like fucks you up and shit, you know? Like, he's like, all of his crew members had their tongues cut out so they couldn't say what they've seen and done. He has fucking magical horns and shit that'll burn you up if you fucking blow them. Like, he's got like fucking crazy shit. Treasures. It's crazy. Not this guy.
So he has a backstory.
This guy's just kind of like a troll. He's just like a little like...
He's like a troublemaker.
He's like here for the lulz, you know?
Sure.
He's just like here for the lulz.
He's fake. I don't believe him. I don't believe him at all.
He's a cartoon. He's a cartoon character, and they're on their cartoon ships, and they're waiting. Daenerys has one fucking dragon. They're getting ready to fucking go for it. Everyone's getting ready for the big battle.
Hello. Testing one,
that's a nice
two.
shot, though.
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
The Golden
testing,
Company's there.
Testing
That Cersei bought.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah,
These guys are from across.
Yeah,
These guys are from across the sea. She got a loan from the bank so that she could pay these dudes to come fucking defend. So they're here. That's supposed to be the Golden Company. So we got all our boys waiting to fucking get it started. I love the Onion Knight. I love him. He's cool. The other ones, not so much anymore.
Onion Knight's the best character now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he just smuggles himself out of this bitch and just like peace. Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So Jaime's trying to get in. He's struggling. He's on the struggle bus. He can't figure it out. He's not blonde anymore. Where did all their blonde hair go?
That's pretty crazy that it wasn't blonde anymore.
Like Tyrion used to be blonde. He's not blonde. Jaime isn't blonde. He's like fucking gray, brown. Keep going. Let's see here. And then Cersei, I love that there was like a tweet about like she just gets paid like $1 million an episode this season just to look out a window with a glass of wine, you know, all season. That's all she did. Just plot, looking out a window, looking around.
And had no plan.
Yeah, that was it. So there she is. She's waiting. Drogon's coming. She's getting ready to. And here's the thing.
2, 3.
We all know that dragons are supposed to rain terror. And we have yet to see a reign of terror in the show. Like a real reign of terror. We've seen a little bit, but not like some crazy shit. So yeah, so they definitely are going to treat us to some crazy reign of terror shit. And that's what we got. It was pretty cool. It was I mean, honestly, if I hadn't seen any of Game of Thrones, and I just saw this episode, I would be like, dude, this shit's fucking awesome. This is a great show. Yeah, absolutely. This shit's fucking awesome.
Absolutely.
Like, God, it looks so good. Like anyways, okay, before we get into that, let's go back to our slides, please. Let's go back to our slides.
I don't know which one it is.
I can't have one. No, thank you. Appreciate it, though.
Are
Cheers.
you pregnant?
No. There we go. We got Drogon. We got fucking Daenerys coming in. She's gonna take care of these fucking ships. She easily takes care of them. All of a sudden, none of the scorpions work. And then this bitch who got the last dragon never even attempts to grab the scorpion and fucking shoot it himself. Who's so proficient at it last time, he just doesn't do anything. And she just goes and smashes the Iron Fleet really quickly, which she could have done that last time. Why wait now?
And Euron had like a lot of Like he was shocked and surprised by what was going on. This is not the first time you've seen a dragon fly.
Like, and they can fly anywhere, like faster than you can turn your big stupid turret around. Like, so anyways, and here's the thing too for me. It's like, okay, Euron sucks, but Euron killed a dragon.
Yeah.
He killed a dragon.
Can't take that away from him.
Euron's big fight.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
With Drogon, where Daenerys is coming at him on the fucking dragon. He sees it. He's got Drogon in his fucking sights. He lets the fucking thing loose. And
Testing
then
1, 2, 3.
testing.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I love that idea. Also, I would have liked to have seen him fall into the water when he jumps off the ship, and then the dragon comes into the water, bites him out of there, eats him.
Dude, that would have been a
fitting death.
Because he sucks. He sucks so bad. You want to see him get eaten by a dragon. You want to see someone have something so horrific happen to them, where they survive getting burned off the fucking exploding ship.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
That would be fucking awesome. That's the thing. It's like there's so many great ideas in this. It's just not executed well. There's so many better ways to do these things.
That's what's fun about this.
No need to see Euron and.
Wasn't there a scene earlier on where I can dove into catching fish underwater, or am I making that up?
I don't know. I think that might be one of your dinosaurs films or something. I don't know. So she destroys the fleet. And also destroys the front gate. She gets everything on the turrets all around the city. All the scorpions are destroyed quickly. No problem. Last time she came with 2 dragons. One got nothing happened. This time nothing happened. This time she easily just destroys everything. Just fucking destroys everything. And so now it's go time. They run into now that the gate has been breached, the wall's been breached. Golden Company's gone. I mean, they didn't do anything. They're just destroyed pretty much right off the bat. Dothraki Screamer's running in. Cersei's like, fuck. That's fine. We're not there yet. That lady hasn't sung yet.
And I can't think she was good because she had some kind of plan. Because when has she ever not had a plan?
Right.
What's her plan? Like, let other, and she's not someone who lets other people do the work. There's fucking work to be put in. Cersei puts in work.
Personal plan of fuckery.
She's got ideas, and she makes, and her idea is not, hey, you should do this. Her idea is like, I'm gonna go fucking make this shit happen.
And like I was what? I was hoping like this is what I would have done. Well, we'll save the what I would have done with Cersei dying, I guess, till
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's move on here. So Tyrion's like, we gotta ring the bell. If you hear the bell, that means they've surrendered. Don't kill anybody.
It was agreed to.
We've all agreed. To hear the bell, don't fucking kill people. So he's just waiting to hear this bell ring. He knows that the tower's, fallen. Like they can't kill the dragon, and they're inside the gates. Army's inside the gates. So
it's over.
So the bells are ringing. We finally hear the bells. They've surrendered. They throw down their swords. They're like, we're fucking scared shitless. We know that there's nothing we can do. We are not going to fight for Queen Cersei to the last man, because she was like, they'll fight to the last man.
This was the first man.
And they were like, nope, I don't really want to do this. Like, we don't want to do this. Like, and so Daenerys has won. And she's sitting there. There's a lot of emotions. There was great acting on her face. I mean, she was just like really. Do we have a slide for that, Jay? There we go. Yeah.
It's hers. The Iron Throne is hers. All this shit. All the shit that she's gone through. This is the moment she's been waiting for.
Right, and this is like the Ten of Swords, dude. This is like the Ten of Swords.
Which one's the 10?
The
page?
The guy with all the fucking knives in his back, like all the sacrifices that she had to make to get here.
She's had a rough road getting here.
She's finally here, but it's like cost her everything.
Has set a moral code that she has, and
yeah.
Her first instinct is always to go crazy, but she has surrounded herself with people like advisors who tell her like, don't do that shit. And even though that was the harder route, it would have been way easier to just butcher everybody along the way.
Yeah.
She's gone the harder route and tried to be a good person and make all this shit happen, and now she's won.
She won.
It's over.
It's done.
And for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
And then because she didn't get,
because Jon Snow didn't fucking take her down.
She didn't get that.
She's like, fuck.
So she's like, you know what? I don't really want it. I hate it. You know, we were talking about with like the Suit of Swords, where it's like, oh, you think you want something and you pursue it and you get it, and then you realize like this is not making me happy, and this is not what I wanted, and this sucks. And it's like the sacrifices you've made maybe are not worth what you've been granted.
It's like she listened to other people too. Like she's becoming what all these assholes said she was gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, like
well, the self-fulfilling prophecy
she let
too.
the water in the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah. And it's just like she's snapped. Now she's gone mad queen because we need Jon Snow on the throne, because us as an audience really wants Jon fucking Snow on the throne. We need to make Dany go crazy to get her out of the way and make her a villain so that Jon Snow can be the cool guy.
Yeah.
Even though we've built up this character Daenerys for 8 seasons as someone who's like really trying their best to be a quote unquote good ruler.
She wants to do good.
You know, who like cares about people. Like, I just don't think that like when she just started slaughtering everyone and genociding, I was just like, that's never been her.
Right.
But I mean, like, she can be cruel and she can be hard and she can like make some fucked up decisions. But like, she's never been for just like genocide for no reason.
Like at this,
like
it's because she's low. This whole time, there's always been someone to talk her down off a cliff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's wanted to murder and kill before. She's wanted to just openly like, fuck these fools.
Yeah,
her first instinct always is let's kill them all.
Well, that's power, you know. I mean,
let's kill them all.
Yeah.
And she's surrounded herself with people that are like, yo,
no,
don't
can't do that.
Kill them all.
Don't
like,
kill them all.
Don't kill them. Are you crazy?
Don't kill them all.
And surround, and now she has nobody.
Right.
And so it's like,
So
you know what
she's
I
like,
should
fine,
do.
I'm just
But
gonna
I'm
kill
saying
them.
I don't agree with that's who Dany is, but that's who they've made her now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
made
that's
her,
who they've made her. Left to her own devices, she's an asshole and a lunatic. It's only been these dudes that she surrounded herself with that told her don't do these things.
You know, I just feel like, and this is my own personal problem, bullshit, you know, I realize that, but as a young dragon queen who has herself taken Daenerys as a totem and who has been very empowered by this character, to see this is the eventuality of her arc is just sucks. It's disappointing. It's like just such a bummer, and it makes me angry. And now that she's angry, now I'm angry. And I know if I'm angry, there's a lot of other dragon queens that are angry. And it's just like, and it's bad dragon queen representation. It's bad for all of us.
The
like,
worst.
and the thing is I love a heel turn. I love a good heel turn. Okay, I'm here for a heel turn. If you want to do Daenerys as the Mad Queen, I'm for it. Like, do it. But do it in a fucking cool, like, slow burn descent into madness. Like, for example, the Dark Phoenix in the comic books. You know, you have Jean. She has a lot of power. She becomes the Phoenix, you know. Like, Dany has a dragon. These are both fiery energy sources that are, like, incomprehensible to mortal men. And over the course of like 4 years, there's all this shit that goes on, and at first, you know, she ends up saving the universe with her powers, only later to be manipulated and fucked with to such a point that she has a psychotic fucking break, like just has a mental breakdown when she realized the extent of the manipulations and horrible things that have been going on to her, and then she turns Dark Phoenix, you know, because, and you've seen it. I mean, you've been reading it for 4 years. You've been watching this, you know, unfold. It's a slow burn, but then when it catches and when it sparks, it's like, fuck, it's an explosion. And like Fox in the new movie, you know, like you were saying, it's a 3-part story. You know, the Phoenix Saga is like a 3-part thing. And in the 3rd part, you get the Dark Phoenix. You don't go straight to Dark Phoenix. And so with like the Fox movies, they're going straight to Dark Phoenix. You know, it's just like there's no her just being a phoenix, her doing good things with it, her having to deal with having the powers of a god, and then eventually being corrupted by it, and blah, 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 because she's pushed to a point where she doesn't even give a fuck anymore. You know, it's like, it's so... They're doing the same thing, you know, here, where it's just like, hey, I would have loved to have seen Daenerys' descent into madness if it had been worked into the show over more than 2 episodes. 2 episodes at the end, she's been built up as not this.
And when you do it right, people like will be on your side. Like they did it right. She turns to an asshole. If they would have said that like this and given her motivation and all that. Besides Jon Snow,
besides that fucking dumb shit.
If you give her motivation behind it, when she's just like fuck it, like they're like let's go. Like
Or she's been duplicitous and been hiding it, so well, and just like, and then you see things and you think, oh fuck, when she said this, it really meant this,
Right.
and like da 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 da, and there's better ways to do this.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that universally, the internet has decided that this doesn't work, that this hasn't worked. Although, yes, there are plenty of clues and indications earlier in the series that they may possibly been leading to this. So my question is, do you think George R. R. Martin was possibly implying that this is the direction that it could have gone?
I don't know. If George R. R. Martin made her a Mad Queen, that would be cool because he'd do it in a cool way. It wouldn't be stupid like this. And I'm down. If he wants to go that route, I'm down for it. I don't think it's a terrible route to go. That's a great one way you can go with her story. One of many ways you could go with her story. But yeah, he wouldn't do it in a stupid ass way like this.
Yeah, I think one of the problems is that she sort of feels like a Luke Skywalker type of archetype when the story starts happening.
Mhm.
You put all your hopes that she's going to be the one that defeats the Empire,
Mhm.
right? It's building up to that. The music implies that.
Mhm.
Remember when we did Epic History of the Targaryens? Like,
Mhm.
the Targaryen music is very, it implies she's going to save the world here.
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest thing I've ever seen in a show not work. It just sabotages the entire thing.
I was so confused. I was like, what?
What?
Because that's the thing is, like, I identify with Daenerys. And if I was in this situation, yeah, I'd be really fucking sad and bummed out at the
In
end
my
of it.
mind, I was just picturing last night. I was picturing a bunch of like girls at parties, all stuff dressed up like, like with drinking, like staring, like mouth open, like what?
I got so mad that I had to burn stuff. I burned my sage. I sage smudged myself. I put smoke all around myself, sage smoke, to like get myself to be less mad. I drank vinegar water. I lit a candle, a CBD candle. I lit some incense. I was just like, I just had to burn things because I was and it's weird how it works through you. It's like, oh, this is a powerful archetype you're working with, and you're turning them into crazy women instead of like showing something that's interesting and has something interesting to say about the human condition. Like, instead of making her just, I didn't get the D, so I went nuts and killed everybody, and I genocided hundreds of thousands of people.
No one likes me.
And it's in my blood. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. It's in my blood. It's in my blood. It's like, oh, so we're gonna reinforce that stereotype after this person has been trying to be personally accountable for her shit this whole fucking time. Like, I could see her maybe being upset and fucking some shit up and destroying the Red Keep or something and saying, I'm destroying the idea of the Iron Throne, and I'm getting rid of, like, that's how I break the wheel. Like, that's how I break the wheel, is I get rid of the Iron Throne, I destroy the Red Keep, and I say, everyone goes back to their own little fucking kingdoms.
Jon Snow, you're king of the North.
I'll be king of this, you'll be king of that,
That's what we were hoping for her to create a whole new world with a whole new political system, possibly.
Right, and I mean, that's still fucked up. I mean, people are still going to get hurt, you're still going to have a war, and there's still going to be shit, but like, just senseless atrocity just for kicks, just because you're mad? Because you won? What? And what does she plan to do now? Is she gonna? She gonna go back to Dragonstone and rule from there? I mean, everyone's gonna hate her.
Okay, what? Why? Yeah, what's this conversation gonna be?
Like, what do you do? Okay, whatever.
Hello, my beautiful babies. It's finally here. My Blade Runner Rachel lewd photo set has arrived.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
So for all my Team 19 people on Patreon, you can check it out. Get the password. Blade Runner is a massively influential film. I think we can all agree upon that. And in it, Ridley Scott created an atmosphere that continues to inspire creatives like myself today. We had a lot of fun trying to capture the Blade Runner mood for this shoot. Personally, I've wanted to cosplay as Rachel partly because she's so
Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing. Hello, 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 hello.
So underserviced, and partly because I want to explore the question, how am I the robot? As someone who has criticized others for being robotic, it was interesting for me to challenge myself to meditate upon how I may be just as mechanical. Like, what a twist! What if I were the robot this whole time? All right, so let's keep going with our slides here. Let's go back to our slides.
Show is beautifully shot, though.
So it's beautiful. Like I said, if I didn't know anything about these characters and haven't been emotionally invested in them for 8 years,
Yeah.
I would be like, oh man, this show's sick. So yeah, she's just going around fucking tearing it down.
I totally believed while I was watching it that that was a dragon destroying a city.
Absolutely.
I was engaged in that aspect.
It was so scary. It was so, kudos to them. I mean, it was amazing the way they did it. I love that Arya was on the ground, and that she had to fucking, deal with all this nonsense, like Cloverfield style. I like that they did the Cloverfield style, like, being on the ground while a city is being destroyed by a monster. Those medieval city being destroyed by a dragon. I mean, that's fucking... I've wanted to see that my whole life. Who hasn't? It was really cool.
But then again, think from the other perspective. If they're showing Daenerys, she's literally flying down every single street, just killing women and children.
Just mowing them down.
And then the next street, and then the next street.
Yeah, right? So now we have our big dumb battle that nobody cared about. Oh, I fucked your sister. I'm a king. Ha, ha, ha. I killed Jaime Lannister. It's like, you're more... What about the dragon you killed? You're not proud of the fucking dragon you killed? You're proud of killing this one-handed dork? Like, fuck off, Cersei's just doing her, sitting outside, looking at stuff. It's like, well, it's over. I guess I lost. I lost.
Then everyone gets stabbed. Thank God Euron's dead.
Jamie survives two
Jamie,
stabbings.
Jamie got stabbed I was like, dude, he's not gonna be able to walk around for very long like that.
He killed him.
They always do that in the show because Arya got stabbed a whole bunch too, and she was running around, walking around. I was like,
Oh, I forgot about that.
Like,
that was one of the first jumping of the sharks in the show back in like season 5.
Yeah, that was stupid. Moving on. We got so they Arya and Hound get in the Red Keep, and then they're like, fuck, this place is gonna come down. And so he's like, if you want to be like me and you want to come with me and you want to die, because I'm going to plan to die. You're going to die in here. You come with me or you get the fuck out of here.
It's very upsetting to me.
Yeah, well, you wanted... She's a little murder girl. And then she just was like, decided not to.
She's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Never mind.
Don't do this anymore. She's like, okay.
Right.
See you later.
Right.
Again, though, portraying a castle crumbling, like with the roof falling off, it all worked really well.
Yeah.
Technical level. Brilliant.
Right. Well, she is... Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Play Total War.
And so it begins! We Romans never seek war, but having come to battle, we will not leave until it is over! Those men over there call themselves the army of the Senate and people of Rome. They are our enemies, and soon to be dead. Dead. They stand alone! No friend has come to this place to die for them! Does this not say something about their honor? They're standing among nations? This is their last city! Their last rat hole to hide in! Units, await my orders! Roman cavalry! Heavy cavalry! Legionary convoy! Heavy cavalry!
Truly.
Retreat! The siege is broken! Out of move, sir.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Sega.
My enemies are many. My equals are none. In the shade of olive trees, they said Italy could never be conquered. In the land of pharaohs and kings, they said Egypt.
Testing 1, 2, 3. 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 Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Great. No! Fucking froze. Shit. No. Fuck. Shit.
Sega.
Oh, we're back. Back.
Sega.
My enemies are many. My equals are none. In the shade of olive trees, they said Italy could never be conquered. In the land of pharaohs and kings, they said Egypt could never be humbled. In the realm of forest and snow, they said Russia could never be tamed. Now they say nothing.
Some men live a simple life, while others have a fire that threatens to engulf the world. I do not know when the fire in Napoleon first burned. Perhaps he had always had a destiny, but sometimes destiny can use a little help or even a revolution. The old ways were drowned in a tide of blood. A man could be whatever he wanted if he could weather the storm. In 1796, Napoleon was sent to command the army of Italy. We knew that Austria would fight in Germany. We knew the Italian campaign had become pointless. Napoleon thought differently. That was his talent. I will lead you through the most fertile plains in the world. You will find there honor, glory, and riches, he told us. The soldiers listened, but they didn't believe. They had long been without hope, without glory.
It is a crucial time in the war between France and the coalition. With the majority of French forces engaging Austria in the Rhineland, you've been placed in command of the destitute Armée d'Italie near the French-Italian border. Faced with impending invasion from Austrian forces stationed in Italy, it is vital that you address your army's dire situation and secure a foothold in the region before setting your sights on Austria itself. Capture Klagenfurt, and your forces will have a clear path to Vienna. The stronghold of Mantua may prove to be a challenging obstacle, although its seizure is vital if you hope to weaken the Austrian position in Italy. You will also face resistance from Austria's coalition ally, the Kingdom of Piedmont, Sardinia. Subjugating this nation, along with any other Italian states that stand in your way, will ensure you sufficient resources to crush the Austrians and overthrow the coalition once and for all.
Oui, monsieur. Votre humble serviteur. Hommes, en avant! En avant, marchez! En avant! Pour la couronne et le pays! À gauche, marchez! En avant, marchez! À gauche, marchez! Votre humble serviteur.
All armies and fleets have a zone of control, represented by the circle displayed around them. Any enemy force moving into the zone of another is liable to instant interception and attack.
À vos ordres. Marchez!
The Government Details panel gathers together essential statistics and information for the management of your entire empire. The Missions tab gathers together information on active and archived missions for easy reference. Look here to check the time remaining for completion, or read the details of a mission again. This panel enables you to view the state of diplomatic relations between nations. Select a nation by clicking on their flag. Their allies, enemies, protectorates, and trading partners are displayed at the bottom of the panel. Use the arrow buttons to toggle the map between display of the selected nation's opinion of their rivals and what those nations think of them. To enter into diplomacy, select a nation from the table on the left and press the Open The Lists panel. The building browser shows how successive buildings are linked, allowing you to easily plan the growth of your empire on a per-region basis. Click on a building to see at a glance what else could be constructed from it.